My mother always used to say that men couldn't do two things at once, and in my father's case, she may have actually been right. But those people that can are on course to become top managers. So says Professor Vangelis Souitaris here at Cass Business School, who's just published a fascinating piece of research in the Strategic Management Journal on the subject of polychronicity. I asked him what polychronicity was.
Polychronic means multiple times, so a polychronic person or a polychronic team is a person that prefers to multitask versus a monochronic person or a monochronic team that is a person or a team that prefers to do one task at a time, to work in sequence. That's it. So polychronic means preference for multitasking.
And why is this important?
It does things to your decision making as a manager, and it does things to the firm performance. Actually, this was our hunch, and that's why we went to see if basically it's a good thing to be polychronic, to multitask, or is a bad thing for top managers.
Don't all managers multitask, though?
The answer is yes to an extent, but there is variability to the amount of multitasking that they do. So you can imagine of a company that has an open door policy, everybody talks to each other, gets interrupted, is happy to be interrupted, their desks face the corridor, versus another company that creates barriers to interruptions. For example, assistants take the phone calls and all the tasks are scheduled, so they basically focus down the energy of the top management team to each task that they do at this point in time. So everybody multitasks at a certain extent, but some people multitask little and some people multitask a lot. So coming to the concept that polychronicity is a continuum. So you can be completely monochronic, which means that you just do one task at a time, you finish it and you move to the other task, and completely polychronic to the other extent, which is constant switching between tasks, or sit somewhere in between.
So which is better? Is it good or bad?
For academics, I think it's good to be, I'm a very monochronic person. I think it's for artists, researchers, it's good to be monochronic. For top managers, we proved with this paper that it's better to be polychronic. So polychronicity helps your business. And here is how. Okay, if you are polychronic, you multitask and you acquire information which is insightful. You get this information from other people, externals or internals within the organization. So basically you get the call when the call is going to give you the insightful information. Insightful information is timely, is relevant, is what you need to know in order to make the decision. And you never know when this information is going to come in. So when you're after it and take all calls and speak to all people, then you have higher chances of actually acquiring it. So once you have insightful information, then you get faster decisions. You make faster decisions because you don't need to look for everything, but you need to look for the right thing that you know about. So you reduce alternatives. Some of the alternatives are not good because you have the insight, and you basically streamline your decision. And also you need less analysis in order to actually make your decision. So you reduce comprehensiveness. So why do you need less analysis? Because you don't need to analyze everything, all the ocean, but you need to concentrate on the things that you actually need to analyze. And why higher speed and less analysis is good for the decision making in technology ventures? Because the environment is very fast moving and you need to be fast in making a decision, and you don't need so much analysis. So therefore, being polychronic gives you the information that you need to increase speed and reduce analysis, and therefore you lead to a higher performance in the business.
So what was the conclusion of your study?
Conclusion is that polychronicity is good for top managers of technology ventures. So if you're a manager in a technology firm, I would advise you to actually create a polychronic culture within the team. So open door policy, speak to anyone, speak to your team constantly, keep talking to people. Don't put barriers in order to avoid interruptions.
So if people want to become top managers, what should they do to become more polychronic?
Right. That's a further question that we haven't answered yet. So the question is, can polychronicity be taught or is a psychological trait? We don't know yet. This is my further question for research. It's true that it's a trait. Some people are more polychronic than others. But we don't know yet if you can teach someone to be more polychronic, to like it, to actually prefer to be more polychronic. Or you have to look for actually polychronic managers in order to increase performance. That's the next research question for us.
Professor Vangelis Souitaris, thank you very much.